We all have this need to look at our faults, right? But it feels like walking on a razor's edge. You lean one way and you're just in denial, but you lean the other way and you fall into this pit of self-hatred. So today, we're going to talk about the huge, crucial difference between honest, healthy reflection and that destructive voice of self-criticism.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. When you look at your own mistakes, your own shortcomings, what tool do you instinctively reach for? Is it a mirror or is it a whip? Because I'm telling you, how you answer that changes absolutely everything.
And this, right here, just nails the two different outcomes. The mirror of honest reflection, well, that heals you. It helps you clean the house. But the whip of self-criticism, it just creates more wounds. It doesn't clean the house, it burns the whole thing to the ground. Our spiritual path can be a place of incredible growth, or it can be a private torture chamber. It all comes down to which one of these you choose.
Okay, so before we can choose the right path, we've got to get really familiar with the wrong one. We need to identify the enemy. So let's dive into what this destructive force, this lash of shame from the ego, actually looks and sounds like in our own heads.
Now, this definition is so important. Self-criticism isn't actually interested in helping you improve. Its only goal is shame. And get this, it's actually a form of inverted pride. It's a crazy twist, right? Saying, I am the absolute worst person ever is just as self-obsessed and focused on I as saying I am the best person ever. Does this voice sound a little too familiar? It's brutal, it's absolute, and it's deeply personal. This isn't constructive feedback, not even close. This is a targeted attack designed to paralyze you.
So let's break down its playbook so you can spot it a mile away. First, it doesn't attack what you did, it attacks who you are. It's not you did a stupid thing, it's you are stupid. Then it uses those crushing absolute words, always, never. Its whole mission is just to make you feel worthless. And the sneakiest part? It does all this while pretending to be humility. It's a really clever disguise.
In this destructive voice, it loves to trap us in guilt. Think of guilt as this massive, heavy anchor. It's the voice in your head saying, I'm unforgivable, I have to suffer for this, and it just keeps you chained to the past. But remorse is totally different. Remorse is a compass. It says, wow, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I won't do that again. It helps you find your way forward. So the real question is, are you carrying an anchor or are you following a compass?
Okay, enough of that. We've spent way too much time with the whip. Let's talk about the good stuff, the solution. Let's pick up the disciple's mirror, which is the path of true wisdom. This is the powerful, healing alternative we've been looking for. And this is the absolute game changer right here. The mirror isn't emotional. It's not yelling at you or calling you names. It's just cool and factual. And most important of all, it separates what you did from who you are. It targets the behavior that needs changing, but it keeps your core identity, your true self, completely safe. I mean, just listen to the power in this phrasing. The core identity, I am a child of God, that stays solid. It's secure and true. And the fault, I acted impatiently today, is seen for what it is, a separate, temporary action, something that can be addressed and changed. Your soul is safe. And this analogy just illustrates the whole point perfectly. Seriously, think about it. You look in the mirror in the morning and see a little smudge of dirt on your cheek. You don't start screaming at your reflection, right? You don't have a total meltdown about what a horrible, dirty person you are. No, you just see the fact of the dirt and you calmly wash your face. The goal is correction, not condemnation. It's that simple. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do we actually do it? How do we put this into practice in our daily lives? Well, let's build ourselves a toolkit. It's time to stop thinking like a judge with a gavel and start thinking like a scientist with a clipboard. You gotta put on your mental lab coat for this one. Imagine a scientist whose experiment just blew up. A real scientist doesn't burst into tears and cry, "Oh, I'm a terrible scientist." No way. They look at the data. They ask, okay, why did that happen? They analyze the cause. I was tired and I felt disrespected. And then they adjust the method. Okay, next time I'm going to make sure I get more sleep and I'll try not to take it so personally. See? It's data, not drama. Just look at the mechanics of it. But here is a really important warning. We are aiming for introspection, not vivisection. Vivisection is dissecting something while it's still alive, basically cutting yourself open over and over. Don't pick at the scab. If you keep poking at a wound to see if it's healing, you're just going to guarantee it never does. Look at it, learn the lesson, and then let it be.
All right, here's a super simple but unbelievably powerful word you can add to your thinking. The word yet. The whip says, I am not patient, period. It's a final verdict, a closed case. But the mirror says, I haven't mastered patience yet. Can you feel the difference? That one tiny word turns a brick wall into an open door. It transforms a fixed failure into a process of growth.
Now, here's a trap a lot of us fall into. We sometimes confuse compassion with just making excuses. That's what we could call the bad mother voice. It tries to make you feel better by just lowering the standard. Oh, it's okay, that thing you failed at is stupid anyway. But that doesn't actually help you grow at all. It's just self-indulgence wearing a clever disguise.
Real compassion, well, that's the good mother voice. It does two amazing things at once. It holds you in unconditional love, and it holds you to a high standard. It basically says, I love you, you are capable, and because I love you and know you're capable, I'm not going to let you settle. It's an embrace that pushes you to become your best self.
And finally, maybe the hardest part is you have to learn the art of forgetting. Once the lesson is learned, you have to let it go. I love this analogy. Imagine you're hiking a trail and you trip on a rock. You learn the lesson, right? Okay, gotta lift my feet higher. You don't then bend down, pick up that rock, and stuff it in your backpack to carry for the rest of the journey. Of course not. That would be insane. You learn the lesson and you leave the rock where it is. So let's pull all of this together with one final and honestly, the most important shift in how we see this whole process. The point of all this work isn't to scrub away dirt because you are fundamentally flawed. The point is to polish a diamond that is already and has always been there.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? This entire process of self-reflection is an act of love. It's an act of reverence for your own true nature. You are a precious jewel, and all you're doing is gently cleaning off the mud and dust so that you can shine as brightly as you were always meant to.
So next time you look in that mirror of introspection, I want you to remember this. Yeah, you'll see some dust, you'll see some faults, but the face looking back at you is sacred. Underneath all the mud from your mistakes, the diamond that is you is and always has been completely flawless. So I'm going to leave you with a question to really sit with. After everything we've talked about today, thinking about all those heavy mistakes you might be carrying from yesterday or last week or even from years and years ago, what single rock will you choose to put down today?